everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking Atlanta Season 3, Episode 4, The Big Payback. So, let's talk.
This concerns all of us, Willie.
No, don't ask.
So, The Big Payback is Episode 4 of Season 3 of Atlanta, and this week we are actually drifting away. We're not interacting with our main four characters at all. We're doing another side story adventure, kind of like in the first episode of the season, which actually is still my favorite episode of the season, including this episode, which I think right now would probably rank as my second favorite episode of the season, which is strange because both episodes did not include any of our main characters at all. It's just exploring social issues and, different types of issues in this country using all different side characters, all different actors that are not appearing regularly on the show. They appear in the first episode and now in this episode, and I think to amazing effect. This is another episode, just like the first episode of the season, that really got under my skin and really made me feel. And that is like the big part of what I could say about Atlanta that makes it so good and one of the best shows on TV, and one of the best shows ever, I think at this point we could say, is that it really makes you think. I can't come on this channel at all and do my thoughts on this show without at least watching the episode twice, if not 3 times. Because I have to gather my thoughts completely and try to make sure I'm fully grasping and understanding exactly what the show is trying to tell me, because they don't just lay it out on a silver platter for you to just totally take in. You have to really dig deep and understand. And I just want to be honest with you guys. I'm also obviously I'm a white man, so coming from my perspective, I can only come at it from what I see and like what I'm trying to understand. I'm married. My wife is mixed. She's black and white, so we talk about the episodes and we try and understand everything and make sure that when I come on this channel and I present it to you guys, my thoughts, that I am understanding it completely. But I am still human and I can completely miss stuff, and I would love for you guys to tell me what your thoughts are on each episode in the comment section below, just to help me fully understand, because I really do think that this show is very challenging on purpose, and it's supposed to really make you think and try and understand other people's perspective, which I know in this country is very hard to look at it from somebody else's perspective and like what their past may be or what your past may be. And I do think that creates conflict, and I think that that's what this show is trying to show you, and very specifically in this episode where they're talking about reparations. So in theory, what this episode is about is, at the beginning you can hear a Tesla lawsuit that has been settled, and Tesla has to pay reparations to a man for somebody owning slaves back when slavery was around, and now you got to pay reparations towards them, or a restitution tax. Now it's starting to become like a national issue for anybody whose parents, grandparents, great-great-grandparents, anyone in their family who's like directly related to their bloodline owns slaves. Now the people's great-great-grandchildren now are looking for restitution as well. And a lot of these cases are definitely going in their favor, and that's what it's showing. It's showing that our main character in this episode, he is being sued. We see him get served by Shaniqua Johnson, who is now going to say that she is owed restitution for her great-great-grandfather and great-great-grandmother being owned as slaves for 12 years by this man's great-great-grandfather, and I assume great-great-grandmother. Now, he doesn't feel like it's justified because he doesn't own slaves. He's never owned slaves in his whole life. But, his family has made mistakes in the past. Now, I mean, let's be honest. These are not mistakes. Owning slaves was not a mistake. But his family did do this, and now he is being punished for what they did. And this whole episode is just showing how this guy's life is being flipped upside down and just being turned around and just crashing. Like he even says when he talks to one of his like black coworkers, and he's trying to say, like, I'm a good guy, I'm trying to get by, not understanding how this black coworker's life has been affected by slavery, even though it's such a long time ago. But it's trying to show that this white man's family has gotten a leg up in the world because of slavery, whereas this guy's family may have not. They might have been actually set back because of slavery. And I think that's what they're trying to show you. Actually, one of the best scenes I think, in the entire show ever is in the hotel. Our main character in this episode is talking to another character about, you know, the whole thing. And, you know, they're both living in a hotel because their homes have been taken over. And this guy's like, you know, think about what we put them through. Try and put yourself in their shoes. He says, so this character says to our main character, slavery haunts them like an unavoidable ghost that we can't see. And that is 100% true, because a lot of people nowadays look at slavery as so far in the past that it's not something that even happened. But it did happen, and it happened in this country. But a lot of people have always said that black people and white people have been here about the same amount of time, but we white people built this country off of black people's backs, and that is not untrue at all. That is not completely untrue in any way. That did happen. You can look into our past. It's in the history books and exactly what happened. And he almost looked at it as this character as like, you know, we can finally get that ghost off our backs because of what our families did. You know, we actually should make up for our past discretions and our past sins. And even if it wasn't the sins of us, but the sins of our fathers, it is very, very important that we right that wrong. And if this is the only way we know how, because we put black people in such a hole as white people that maybe we should pay the consequences for their actions. You know, it's a very philosophical show, and it really puts a lot into perspective, and it really should make you think, should make you uncomfortable, and should make you scared, because these are real issues that need to be talked about. And I really think Atlanta is the only show on TV right now that really takes care and makes sure that they present it to you in such a way that you can understand. Even as hard and challenging it is, you should be paying attention to what they're saying. And it is done phenomenally here. The fact that this show can actually completely take you out from the four main characters that we've been set up to care about and put you into just a regular spin-off episode and show you a whole different set of characters and make you care about them. Like, when this guy gets up from that table, walks outside and kills himself right into the pool, and you see only the white people reacting, and the black guy's like, there's going to be more where that came from, because he has seen what life can do to a black person and break them down, and now white people are finally seeing what black people have seen all along. And that is what the show is trying to illustrate. It does it so well, and in this episode is no different. You also see little hints of things like some of these other white people who aren't past slave owners, who aren't being hit with these taxes or anything. Like, they're trying to like pretend to be a minority. Like, his ex-wife is like saying now that she's Persian or something, and even in, like, when he texts her, you can see that she drops like a downward emoji, like, you know, right now, but it's a black hand, even though she's clearly a white woman. You know, it really brings you back to the time when blacks had to pretend to be white just so that they could get a leg up in society or not even be killed by white people. So, like, you have to understand that, like, that's what the show is trying to illustrate to you. And now these people aren't doing that to stay alive or try and get, they're just trying to cling on to what they still have. That's really what they're doing, is just, and it's not right. And it's just showing you that, you know, this is how black people have been treated, and you got to understand. And I think it's trying to show, like, other people to try and understand how they have felt or how they are feeling. And I just think the show just nails it. I think the show is great. And again, if I'm missing anything in here, please let me know in the comment section. I would love to discuss it. I'm always trying to better myself and trying to learn about our past and about the world we live in now. It's something I'm very interested in. I'm always wondering. I'm always very curious. I want to make sure I have a full grasp of everything. So if you guys could drop in the comment section, maybe we could discuss this more. I would love that. But anyway, it's an episode of the show. Again, just phenomenally written. If you're not keeping up with Atlanta, we do a review every week. And again, it's one of the best shows on TV, so I can't recommend it highly, this episode or any episode of Atlanta. So guys, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and tell all your friends.